He was like a kid that was always alone. He was always bullied every day. He was just an outcast. I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're going to see someone like that, and they're going to target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
Donald Trump, the US presidential candidate and billionaire, was shot in the ear during his speech, causing his blood to streak across his face. His security agents quickly surrounded him after he emerged and pumped his fist in the air, mouthing the word, "Fight, fight, fight." He later shared on his Truth Social platform, "I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. Much bleeding took place." The FBI has identified Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20, of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, as the subject involved in the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump on July 13 in Butler, Pennsylvania, the agency said in an official statement.
Horrifying. I mean, the shot, I mean, and the stuff was coming off the side. For people to do that, I don't know. It's just, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's just going to drive people to even be more for him. I mean, especially when that picture comes out.
I'm very upset. I can't say for sure who's behind this, but I'll tell you what. It's only going to cause more division in this country because of the people that support President Trump. And it's only going to make people hate Joe Biden even more, whether he had anything to do with it or not, and whether the Democratic Party had anything to do with it or not. It seems that they'll do anything to remain in power. And I'll tell you what, it's only going to cause more division in this country. And there's enough already, you're going to see more. I was standing there, and all of a sudden it sounds like firecrackers going off, but then I heard the shots, and then all of a sudden somebody hollers, "Get down on the ground," and everybody's going down on the ground as low as they can get. Then the Secret Service comes running up through and says, "Everybody out, get out of here now," and they ushered us out of the area.
I feel like the nomination is coming up on Monday, and I feel like they don't want him. They don't want this man to be president because he's trying his hardest to save America, and that's not what they want. They want America to fall.
They're scared.
Yeah, they're scared. You're right. Yeah. They're scared. Everybody stood together, and everybody screamed out the Father's prayer, and everybody prayed together. That was amazing. That was something that was beautiful. That was really cool. Yeah. Everyone together in the stands praying.
This remains an active and ongoing investigation, and anyone with information that may assist with the investigation is encouraged to submit photos or videos online at fbi.gov/Butler. George Bivens, Deputy Commissioner of Operations for the Pennsylvania State Police, said at the briefing that 3 rally attendees who were shot were adult males. One of the victims has died.
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. With that being said, also, we do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was. Again, we're still working through the security apparatus that the Secret Service had in place, what potentially happened. There's going to be a long investigation into exactly what took place and how the individual was able to get access to the location, what type of weapon he had. All that is really days, weeks, and months of investigation.
The single greatest priority would be to identifying a motive and whether there was anyone else involved. At this time, we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. And I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity. The specific response to this will be all part of the after action, but yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences. I would confirm for you that we did have 1 individual killed, and I know I heard somebody say about 2 victims. There were 3 in total besides the former president. So 2 critically wounded, 1 killed.
Local prosecutor Richard Goldinger said that the assailant was positioned outside the event grounds on the rooftop of a manufacturing facility, more than 130 yards away from the stage where Trump was speaking. The open-air setting at the Butler Farm Show grounds gave the gunman a clear line of sight of his target. FBI identified Thomas Matthew Crooks as the subject involved in the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. According to the official state voter records, the shooter was a registered Republican. Crooks lived about an hour away from where the shooting took place in Butler. The Federal Aviation Administration said it closed Bethel Park's airspace for special security reasons. Despite being a registered Republican, when Crooks was 17-year-old, he made a $15 donation to Act Blue, a political action committee that raises money for left-leaning Democratic politicians, reported Reuters, citing a 2021 Federal Election Commission filing. According to the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, Thomas Crooks graduated from Bethel Park High School in 2022. Jason Kohler, who graduated from Bethel Park High School the year before Crooks, described him as an outcast who was always alone.
I didn't have any interaction with him, but he was like a kid that was always alone. He was always bullied every day. He was just an outcast. Yeah. I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're going to see someone like that and they're going to target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
And you said he was a loner?
Yeah. I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but like he was just bullied. Like he was bullied so much. He was just made fun of, I guess, for the way he dressed or his appearance.
How did he dress?
Like they were just saying jeans. He'd wear hunting outfits sometimes. He would always wear a mask, even after COVID. He wore a mask. Like you could look at him and you would be like, something's a little off. That's how I could describe it.
Would you ever suspect to think of somebody like that being
I mean,
someone you
in
know?
Bethel Park, no. It's not something you even want to think about. Like being real and seeing all this is like actually unbelievable. It's so crazy.
Did he do anything in school? Was he part of any club or anything that you guys know of?
I believe
or
he
anything?
was on the rifle team. My brother was on the rifle team. I actually texted my brother this morning to see if this is true. I've yet to hear back from him. I don't think anyone would have thought this. It's crazy.
According to the newspaper, he received a $500 Star Award from the National Math and Science Initiative.